Welcome to today. It is our day 2 of our 10-day challenge inside of our Unprocessed Me community. Welcome in. If this is your first time, welcome. My name is Tracy Mahan. This is Pam Villarreal,
Hi.
my cohort on here, and she's a beautiful responder. And she's here to help you, help me remember what we might be thinking of when we go through this for some of the first times. And she's also your advocate. So we were just talking about advocates. I'm going to say she's your advocate. If you've got something current going on and you feel that you're, for some reason, I'm unreachable, I hope I told you I'm reachable. Reach out to Pam too. She's here for that. She's such a wealth of information. She's been in our community for over 20 years. So thank you so much. And hello. Today, hello, Pam. Beautiful. I was just twirling this. She's like, what do you have? We'll be talking about this. Mm. And it is mint. We'll be talking about it. Can you smell it?
I can smell it.
All right. So, to be honest, today might be my favorite day. I could have done this every single day of 10 days and tell you something different about inflammation and sugar. Literally, this is the one thing most people say, oh, wow, I can't do that. It's like the first thing I find coming out of their mouth when I talk about what I do. And it is something that can be between our ears that we just feel we cannot do. And actually, real life, sugar is now getting into almost everything we have. Yes, Pam, we were talking about how many ways. Yesterday, we talked about briefly 56 different ways that they call sugar yesterday or today. I'll stop talking about days because I think I'm oops. But we talk about sugar, and there's so many names now for sugar because, or artificial sugars, even because the big companies, and we'll just stop naming them too, because there's just about anybody who creates something, they want to put sugar in it because it helps it taste better. And they also know that sugar is becoming a buzzword. So I posted in this group at the top in those files 56 different ways that it's also called, like coconut sugar. It's still sugar. Is coconut sugar any better than regular sugar? Name regular sugar. We just said there's 56 different names for it. So there is some benefits to coconut sugar potentially. But what I'm talking about here, no, it's still causing insulin resistance, leptin resistance, and also disconnecting you from who you are because it's still robbing you from nutrients. You want to eat well. We're talking about spending money on good organic ingredients, yet you might have a little bit of sugar, and that's removing some of the benefits that that meal was providing you. And what I'd like to talk about is also beliefs. We believe we can't. Did you hear me just like, oh, well, people go, oh, I can't do that. That's a belief. And I'm here to smash that. It's just not true. You can do anything. Anything. We're so invincible beyond belief because that's the problem. You believed you couldn't. And I'm saying I didn't think I could either until a doctor, like literally, it was a phone call. And you think I was joking when I said, please don't get it your life or your body so stressed, so inflamed that you end up going to a doctor and he has one call to you saying, you need a transplant or you're going to die. That was the man's first words to me. Please, please understand. Yes, might have been some extreme circumstances in me, a two percenter. But what I see for the last 10 years is pre-diabetics, diabetics, type 2, I'm talking about here. This is sugar driven, fork driven, it's food driven. That and I have helped people change the way they're eating, change the expression inside of us to no longer have the label, even at a medical doctor's office, that they are pre diabetic at all. It's gone. That's how you can change your environment inside by also looking to change your environment in your world, in the kitchen. I'm pointing out here to my kitchen. Because I was talking yesterday, we were saying, well, what is the one thing in your pantry that you're embarrassed about? I would give you 2 seconds. I'll go grab it. And I'm literally not going to grab it because I don't normally buy this. Yet my friends and I were out and I'll share. Do you want me to share what's in my closet? I'll
Yes.
get it, but it doesn't matter. It's the Jet Puff Whip, like marshmallow whip. I really can't tell you when the last time is I bought that. But it's unopened because I found a better version of it at Sprouts. But I made some really healthy sprouted brown rice crispy treats last week, and I found some alternatives to marshmallows. And anyway, I had already ordered it, like put it in my cart at HEB and forgot that I was actually going to go look for a better alternative. And then it just kind of came in my delivery. Like, oh, oops, I remember that that was in the cart and I forgot to delete it. So I could literally go grab the marshmallow whip, which has not been opened and it will not be open because it's crap. It's high fructose corn syrup still, and that's got mercury in it. Did you know that? High
Uh-uh.
fructose corn syrup is laden with heavy metals, known to be a neurotoxin. So if you're going to get rid of sugar, that's one of the worst to get rid of. High fructose corn syrup should not be anywhere in our house, as well as we talked about the different names. So, what I can say, I wrote it down here. It's unhealthy. There's really no acceptable amount of sugar. We don't require it. We get it alternately, naturally in the environment, again, in an apple with, fructose and the actual fiber that comes in that apple. We've destroyed our taste buds so much because companies now understand there is something called a tipping point. Did you know this, Pam? There's a
Mm.
tipping point. So
Mhm.
most major companies have hired scientists to find the tipping point in especially their newer lines of foods. So for instance, if you had a chip, let's say that was a tortilla chip that was supposed to be rhymes with Doritos. Anyway, we're gonna say that those are, we know anything that has a flour is a grain. We'll talk about that tomorrow, turns to sugar. B, anytime it comes from a package, we're going to know that somebody created something in that. Meaning, to make that taste better, they have scientists measuring a tipping point on your tongue.
Mm.
Interesting. So there are scientists in Kraft and all the big companies who hired them. And when they come out with a new variety of these chips, they'll put them in, you've probably seen this, they'll put them in front of people who are testers.
Mhm.
They write down little things on, well, it's too sour, it's too sweet, it's just enough sweet or not enough. So they continue to measure these until what's called this bliss point. That's a scientific term for when that it gets to be, oh, it's delicious. Oh, that's even better. And oh, that's great. And then they add more of the three things, sugar, fat, or salt, most likely, and in different chemistry. So, instance, we're talking sugar today, they'll add more sugar until you're like, oh, that's nice. And then you have another bite of another one that has a little more sugar. Ooh, that's tasty. And then you might pick up item number three, and that has a lot of sugar. And you're like, no, it just now is too sweet. So, what they found is then, in this case, item number two may be that bliss point on your tongue, that's just the right amount of chemistry of the sugar. So they call that the bliss point, and they scientifically check almost literally everything that goes out of their company now with this bliss point. They are testing you and pushing us meaning you, our taste buds to see where is it that that chemistry false created, it's not real sugar. Do you hear me now? They're creating this laboratory of things that our tongue is going, ooh, that's great. And that is why you can't get enough of that stuff. Have you ever eaten something you're like, I just want more? And that's because they are creating these Frankenstein, so to speak, chemicals that are creating neurotoxins, for one. They're creating neurotoxins, are killing brain cells. And number two, they're craving to where you no longer taste things like the strawberry, the berry, the natural sweetness of food the same. So we must get off of sugar. And the beautiful thing about this body, and I'm getting hot here. The thing about our body is that we can regenerate most of it. So when we get off of sugar, today's day two. If you did it yesterday, congratulations. If you do it today, congratulations. If you can give yourself 3 to 5 days, that's the average, 3 to 5 days, your taste buds already start to revert back. Yeah.
Mhm.
Pam and I did this 10-day last in September.
Uh-huh.
I brought the berries, the blueberry out, and I said, taste it. Grab your own, taste it. And after 3 days, you do. You're like, oh my gosh, the real fruit toast and the real fruit by God is so amazing. You can almost taste the sun. And, that's the energy that's in that. And that's what we get to become. What we are ingesting is part of who you are. And that to me, as somebody who's been given a gift of life twice, I cherish what I put in my body. I understand I may be here on borrowed time. I get it that I may have a different outlook than you, and I'm here to try to bring you into my world. You can do this and enjoy not only immense flavor with your food, but you also get something much better, a gift of life. Sugar is an anti-nutrient. And so the one, maybe the most thing that is distracting us, is taking us away from feeling satisfied. And really, today, the sugar and sweets, when we're craving that, there's something we can do naturally. I'm going to give you a little fun tip today, but there's also something that is very natural that we're missing here. That is almost a naturally, that in today's society, we're missing this as almost a whole ingredient in our foods. One of the things when we're missing this ingredient, sugar, we're actually going for something sugar. We want something to satisfy us. That makes sense to you. And then what we don't notice is how unconscious we're doing it. Because life has gotten stressful. Even more so since 2020, I'm seeing it. Life is stressful. We wish to be comforted. Ultimately, our nervous system wants to know we're safe. What's the best way to do that? Is to feel a nice full belly. We wish to be satisfied. So if we're eating, and we are, empty calories because sugar has gotten into everything, unless you're following this unprocessed challenge, because we're eating real whole foods with less than one ingredient, like apples, like herbs even, will help you satisfy this. But I'm going to tell you the other thing that's going to satisfy you is actually eating fat. Healthy fat.
Mhm.
I haven't talked about this much. I actually wanted to do it yesterday, but I know that coming into this and just bombarding you with these kind of things, it might be too much. Yesterday was about awareness. And this is something to be aware of, is when you're craving sugar, try this first. Eat some nuts. I mentioned this briefly as I was making my dinner last night. My choice this 10 days, we talked about this yesterday. You were talking, Pam, yesterday about you again, you're looking at getting rid of sugar this week.
Mhm.
And I like to name one thing that I know that I can focus on these 10 days. Mine is milk and dairy still.
Ah.
And I know that I usually would put cheese on things. And so I noticed last night I still kind of felt like my dinner was good, but it wasn't as fat satiating that it could be. So I might finish it and go, I'm full, but I'm not satiated. And I would have been if I would have had cheese. Yet we're talking about cheese is inflammatory. So what else can we do? And I added walnuts. Ah, that was it. Today in my eggs, I added avocado.
Mhm.
It's a full egg, so it's already got some fat, but we really underestimate how much fat we need. Good fats, healthy fats, the avocados, the coconuts. Eat healthy fat when you're craving sugar and watch that craving go away. I'm also going to share in here that this might be a little over the top, but I think you all are ready for this because I think that we're all smart enough. The ones that are here, you know that there's something going on in the outside of our world, and we're here for something different. And I'm going to give you a couple of things different. One, I wasn't going to go here. I was saving this for my paid community, and I'm going to just touch on this. Because if, as I was just talking about, we're craving sugar, why? We're not satisfied. Why? Some of it might be our body, right? We're not listening to our body. We've been so in our head, we're not listening. And I put this out there last time. If we start connecting with our body, like noticing, oh, I'm just not satisfied. What would satisfy me now? Empty sugar calories? No, fat, nuts. Oh, that sounds good. Our body can tend to tell you this is good. If I put the cookie or if I put walnuts, my body's going to go now that and I'm going to say, yeah, I've been doing this a while. Do I do it all 100%? No, I'm human like you. But I know when I put my mind to it that I will feel satisfied by having the walnuts on top of my food last night or the avocado versus going for something even we're going to talk about it tomorrow, even the breads or even the chocolate, even chocolate. Just to say, we're looking for satisfaction. And so if you're out there craving and you are pre-diabetic or diabetic, I'm going to talk to you. Because what is also missing is that our pancreas is supposed to secrete some insulin to help get that sugar into the cell. So we have what? Energy. I'm an energizer bunny. We have energy. So if we're not eating sugar, how do we get energy? That's a great question. Well, we can get energy from our real foods, and that's what we've talked about, good energy versus bad. But what if I'm doing it a lot and I just don't notice it? Now I'm going to talk to the subconscious part. When we're craving sugar, especially if you've already gotten to be diabetic, pre-diabetic, your insulin marker, your pancreas is tired and it's not working to support regulating getting that sugar into the cell. I'm going to ask you an important question. How do you feel? Are you also satisfied in your life? Are you in a loving relationship? Do you speak loving words? Do you have loving thoughts in your head? Because often we're not satisfied with life, so we want to go for the M&Ms. We want to go for the easy fix. We want to go for the Slurpees, for the Starbucks, for the empty sugary drinks, for the cocktails to numb out because we're not happy. This is one of the biggest body language awarenesses that we can do is that our pancreas is here to remind us that life is sweet. We don't need to go for the outside in for sugar to satisfy us because it doesn't. We'll still grab more. We can have a relationship. We're going to talk on day 7 about 6 about community 7. Community, Pam and I having a conversation before we get in here. That's satisfying to us. We have beautiful conversations. We invite you here. Please get up. We have 50 people plus in this group. Come on here. We'll talk to you. This is satisfying. Yes. We get in and we have great conversations. I get bored of myself talking. I would love to have you in here so we can all fill up on each other and be satisfied in community, feeling full that I've been seen. I see Pam, that I hear you. This is
Mhm.
the missing ingredient also. Yes, fat is great on what we take in, but this unprocessed meat community is also this deep. Going deeper about sugar is that you're not really fulfilling your life and enjoy. You're missing the satisfaction of joy. The pancreas, I have it over here. If you notice, I'm going to get off of this in a moment because you're like, okay, I'm kind of bored. It's because you might be doing this, and I'm just going to say that. This is really important too, because the pancreas is about something that says, I'm sad. It's a disconnection. And so when we are sad, is that we're giving up. And some part of that, you're giving up. And you're saying, well, maybe those M&Ms are going to make me happier. I'm going to tell you, when we talked about it, it's not. Go have some fat. Go call Pam. and talk through us. This community was set up not just to be a soapbox. You can find out what foods inflame you on an app. I'm here to share maybe a little different tips, techniques to empower you to make better decisions. And if you're pre-diabetic and you haven't heard me talk about, are you really in love with life? Are you having joy? Are you satisfied with how you feel? Then maybe we can explore that. And I think it's on day 9. We talk about don't eat your feelings. That's day 8. Don't eat your feelings. So the other thing I'm going to say to share that we do have another fun awareness is this beautiful thing. Because our body is so amazing. Our body is so amazing. How can mint make it easier? This is from my garden. First of all, I don't have green thumbs, but these are pretty easy to grow, so everybody can grow some herbs. And I love walking by it for one thing and just touching the leaves. You can smell it then on your hand. It's almost like perfume. I'm literally like, oh, love this stuff. Why? Because my nervous system picks up. It's a stimulant. It actually starts to satisfy us in a totally different way. And this is what we're looking for. Our soul, our body is looking for stimulation and being satisfied. And one thing mint does is do that. It helps to get into our nervous system, into the sensory part of our nervous system. And it's a distraction. That's kind of what fat is when you eat fat instead. It's a distraction. Where's the most of the problems at about sugar? Is it in your body? Is your body going, I crave sugar? I'm telling you, no. It's in the environment. It's what we've created, and it's usually between here. So if we can distract us here, can you walk outside and just smell some peppermint? How about the nice thing is that it's edible? We can do two things. You can actually, do you know eating peppermint is actually beautiful help for your breath? It's a breath freshener. So you can eat it. Literally, that's nice. You can also put it in drinks. And this is my detox drink. I like to have it later lately, after my coffee and everything. And so we'll talk about the detox drink later, but this is just basically, we've talked about it before. It's lemon and apple cider vinegar and some salt and good stuff. And so you can put things in it to boost this up and feel satisfied. And so it's a belief changer. Some of this is actually about our endocrine gland, our emotions, and it's in a part of our body. So if I can help you see, sugar is much more than just a convenient, easy grab. It's actually something that's sugar's a lie. I almost didn't want to say that. I wanted to get on and go, sugar's a lie. And I can get so compassionate about sugar. I can get compassionate. Compassionate is a wonderful word. It's a little compassion. I'm compassionate for you guys. I know I've been there too. I love sugar, but I'm also pissed off because no, who else is talking about this to the degree that you know that sugar is that bad? Like, I, they're muffled. I'll tell you that. They're muffled by the industries that talk about squashing. Oh, sugar's okay. You're fine. And yeah, we do have an amazing innate body that given a little bit of dog poo poo, which is sugar, a little
Mhm.
bit of dog poop, we can get rid of it. I talk my mind is bumping. So sugar, we talked about the different names of sugar, but I will say that I like to go to things that have 0 calories. This is something with 0 calories. We're also talking about what else can I do if sugar is bad. I want to highlight one thing that stevia is something that is not a sugar. You can actually, if you want stevia this week, liquid stevia would be something that does not cause inflammation. It's a plant similar to, it's a plant that is very bitter. It's about 200 to 300 times more bitter than sugar. So when you don't have to have a lot of it, and the processing is there's processing in it, unless you're growing this, but stevia plant, you can actually have this in a liquid form, and it's not as processed. This is my choice. This is usually what I'll do is stevia. When I bake, there's another choice. Because I like liquid, I don't advocate for baking with a liquid sweetener. It just doesn't work. You require having something granulated. I talk about allulose as something not during the 10 days. Hear me here. We're trying
Mhm.
to go 10 days. We can do anything for 10 days. It's going to make us stronger. We're going to go no sugar. Day 11, it's Thanksgiving. The meals I talked about, I use this and it's in the recipes under the holiday recipes that I posted at the top of this page. There's a bunch of holiday recipes I do offer and I use this. This is a derivative of sugar. It's the closest to sugar. Warning, don't use too much because it has a laxative effect. As does a lot of the sugar sweeteners that end in OSE. So look for things like that. And I have a list of that again at the top. So you don't have to, make a lot of notes. There's 56 different names. Don't look them all up. Maybe just notice anything ending in OSE, that's a sugar. Dextrose, that's not healthy. Oh, I did pick up a sugar packer today. So if you are listening to me and you say, well, Stephanie, oh, my daughter, Tracy said stevia was healthy. And then you go pick up a packet of stevia, they're usually green. Please ignore and throw away any pink or blue or white packet on almost every restaurant table. I go in there and I throw them away. I'll give them back to the waitress. Take these away and don't bring me chips if I'm at that place. But I also don't like any of that because it's very suggestive. But they don't put stevia on there. But they recently did, but they'll mix it with a little dog poo. I was at a networking event this morning and there was coffee and I thought, well, let me see, what is the stevia that they have? And I picked it up and it's called stevia in the raw, I think, and I could be wrong, but there is that one and it has dextrose in it. We don't want dog poo in our stevia, just pure stevia. Okay? So look at the ingredients. That was yesterday's talk. The awareness is look at the ingredients. You are worth it because this is the one earth suit that you've been gifted with. And I love treating this earth suit well. Excessive sugar is not good for us. There are alternatives. Another one, too, real quick before I jump off of it. This is another alternative that I've used in the past. I like it because, and this one is granulated, and then this one is confectioner's brand. And you can sometimes see, especially for the holidays, there's a certain couple special recipes that maybe you have a confectioner's sugar. One of the things, if you find any good blend, you can actually put it in one of those food blenders usually and get it soft enough that you can get it powdery and you make your own powdered confectioner's sugar that way. Or you can just buy some of this, and this is readily available at most of the stores now. And for those special recipes, I'll put that in there. The last thing on those two, these usually do have an aftertaste. And that's why I do prefer this more from sugar instead of an alternative, as it doesn't seem to have an aftertaste. So it's not as bitter. How are we doing, Pam? Did I cover?
Yeah, you did. I want to ask you a question. That Whole Earth product, what is the name of it? What is it?
It's,
I mean, Whole Earth, but what is it?
you can't see it too well with that light. Allulose.
Allulose?
Yes, it's a derivative of sugar itself.
Okay, because it has OSE in the end, but it's different. It's
ALL, maybe that's ALL. It looks ALL.
I
OS.
can't read it.
It
A
is
L L O U
OSE.
S O U S
OSE.
A L L
ALLULOSE. Let's get it correct. ALLULOSE.
L O S E. Okay,
Does
allulose.
end in
Okay,
OSE.
yeah.
It's not something I do a lot. It is for specific recipes.
Yeah, right, exactly. And
Yeah.
I wanted to just add one thing because I so many things clicked with me when I was listening to you talk. And one of the things you said about sugar, you said this many times, and we've read it many times that sugar is addictive, and you talked about yesterday more addictive than cocaine. You're talking about the study with the rats. And when you said you eat sugar and then you want more. And it's like, and that's true. And that's a pure sign of addiction. An addiction to something that's doing your body no good. Your body's not wanting it. Your mind is wanting it. And it doesn't even taste good anymore. It loses its thrill, or it makes you hungry for other things.
It's like a drug.
Yeah, it is like the drug.
It's a drug.
And the other thing I want to just pop out to tell people, because I know sometimes it sounds like, you know, passionate, we're passionate about it, and I do want to make this perfectly clear. You have questions I can't answer. They're going right back to Tracy because I know a lot, but I'm learning a lot of more in-depth stuff with Tracy. And she's your guru. But I, you know, if you I'm free, I know my friends that are doing this with me, well, are welcome to
Everybody's
ask.
a guru. I'm a resource. I like that
Yeah,
better.
you're a resource. Okay. But you know what you're saying about the berries? I do remember the day you had those big, luscious berries and those blueberries. And I remember eating blueberries because I knew they were antioxidants and they were good for me. Back when I was still eating sugar,
Uh-huh.
I never thought blueberries had much taste.
Yeah, interesting.
And when I quit the sugar, I even like in the middle of the 10-day that was in September, I didn't get the taste. That's I was telling one of my friends that I was talking to about this yesterday, who is not really ready for this, I don't think, because she still thinks she's doing a lot of good things. And I'm glad she's just making an effort. But I was telling, she says, how are you feeling? I said, I am feeling really great. And I said, I want you to know I am enjoying the taste of food so much that I had no idea. It's sort of like years ago when I smoked, and when you quit smoking, all of a sudden you taste things.
Yes.
And it
Hmm.
was the same thing once I quit the sugar. I am savoring the taste that I'm eating. I had blueberries with my eggs the other morning. I had blueberries and avocados and some eggs.
One meal.
And those, I ate those blueberries just raw and popped in my mouth. They were so delicious. I tried a squash. I've tried a lot of squashes. I haven't tried butter. I've always been crazy about spaghetti squash, but I tried a butternut squash yesterday. And my butternut, no, that's not on the 10-day, but I think is that it's not on the 10-day squash, isn't it?
You choose for you what you're doing on a 10-day. We are talking for 10 days is unprocessing.
Right.
Squashes are okay.
Okay. Well, I just want to say because I'm not on my
No
first 10-day.
sugar, it's different. But yeah, when we're
Yeah.
talking about the inflammatory diet, that is a little different regarding squashes.
Yeah.
However, yeah, keep going.
But I really it was so I baked it. I cut it in half and I baked it in the oven, and then I mashed it up, and I had about a cup and a half of squashes aside. And I really ate it, and I put just a teeny bit of Kerrygold butter, you know,
Yeah.
the grass fed,
Yeah.
just a little bit. It really didn't need anything, but that butter, I was so satisfied after I ate that squash, and that squash was so good. And I was a little girl who grew up saying, "Ooh, zucchini, ooh, squash." I liked other vegetables, but zucchini and squash were not my favorites, and I love them now. And I just think zucchini and is so good, and they're just I'm just taste I told her I'm taste my friend I told her I that tasting the taste of food so much. I'm getting so much satisfaction from
Yeah.
what, and I'm full.
I
And
think that's the theme today. Satisfaction. If you're hearing us, the theme is that satisfaction. Are we satisfied? Because
Mhm.
really, that's what we're craving, not only with our food, but literally with everything. Are we satisfied?
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And it allows us to stop the overeating, as you were saying too, because
Mhm.
that is part of the fix.
Yeah.
And it creates a lot of different chemistry in us, and we're chemical factories. We really are. And it creates this dependency on that certain fix. And there's so many other reasons and ways that we can satisfy that. Mint is just a part of it. Avocado is a great way to satisfy that. Nuts and some of the good fats, and also then maybe going for a walk, drinking some good water,
Yeah.
getting out of our room, changing environments. That's
Yes.
a big part of it too. And when
Yes.
we're craving something, move. And not only just moving our body, but move locations.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I guess my whole point in saying those things, highlighting those things, was the fact that this is worth it. And you are going to really feel so different when you decide what it is that you need to do and you need to focus on. And the difference is so worth it. I had no idea. I mean, comparing it to quitting smoking is a real good example. Everything tastes so much better now that I quit sugar, which was
Yeah.
two addictions I traded off
Congratulations.
early, long ago. I traded off the cigarettes long ago, but I used to smoke in the 70s and the 80s, some of the
I did
90s.
too. I quit. I know what you're talking about. I mean, it was in our high school, and back then I was a very young smoker.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the Midwest, it was anyway. I loved it. I've been there. I remember that food
Yeah.
comes back in satisfaction. We delight in food, and that's what God gave us a garden for. I mean, gardens serve two purposes. It feeds us, and it gives us movement. Or that's a lot of work to tend to our garden. But so tomorrow we have more on sugar though too. We're going to talk about grains and the other things that you really carbs. We need carbs. We need sugar. How about a myth? More
Yeah.
myths. I'm going to bust those myths. What is really true is that we get to train our brain and our body to work with us. We have an amazing innate body, y'all. Just we remove the interferences. Sugar is honestly an interference, and your smoothies don't need sugar. Your coffee honestly doesn't need sugar.
Yeah.
You are sweet enough. You don't need sugar. How about
That's a good one. Yes.
sweet enough? Yeah. Yeah, we'll leave it on that one. Let's leave it on a sweet note. How can we make this easier for you all? We'd love to see you live. I admit I had an oops yesterday and did post some things a little late. So I apologize and recommit. And I've pinned. I hope you see it. And if you're here, you did. We pinned that. So we're trying to highlight that we pinned the post that has the link. So every day at noon, we encourage you to come in. We also have a link at the end of the day to post your wins and some questions that you might have. And we're looking through those every day throughout the day so that we can quickly answer you. And thank you. If you put up a recipe, I know you and I shared our foods. We were used to doing that last. We'd love to see your foods. Take a picture of what you're eating. Maybe that could be a thread. Just, I think it is. But anyway, if you find if you find a challenge, please bring it up to us. If you find a breakthrough, celebrate your wins. We love you, and that's about it today. It's like you can do anything for 10 days, and you can definitely do it today. Can you give up sugar today? We know you can. So thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow live at noon.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.